going back to Artitude Designs, do you have any, was there any moments of truth where they really, or happy moments with what they've done, or some, any kind of proud moments in their material that they work with you?
You mean in terms of the success on my site, or?
Or, yeah, anything that they've done you think that's really been something special?
Well, I have to say I'm very fond of Michael Staples, the fellow I worked with. He was very, very good. I mean, now I'll just shoot him an email and he'll respond immediately and do some odds and ends or whatever I need to be done. Work with another company, you have to start all over again and set up an appointment and go through some rigmarole to get there. But he considers me clearly still one of his clients and will treat me the same way he treated me, whether I had, you know, a huge website to develop or just had some little logo I needed fixed up or tidied up. So I'm still being treated as consistently as I was back then. So that's very valuable to me.
You're a busy person. Why did you take the time today to do this interview for Andrea and Artitude Designs?
Well, I do know the value of testimonials. I just finished a very satisfying round of doing that for our company. And I also believe in Andrea. I think she's has a quality business, and I like to support that. And it makes me happy to do that. I love giving advice or giving whatever I can to other people that are managing small businesses. And so any knowledge that I have or any intellectual property I have or anything that I can give them, you know, that will make their lives easier, I like to share that and invest in that. So, plus I've never done anything on video as a testimonial, so I thought, what a concept. That'll be interesting.
Now, as a business owner, do you hang with other business owners, or do you, like, it's like a fraternity, you know, are you?
You know, I do, but not enough. I mean, this is something that we've spoken about as partners in the last week or two, actually. You know, how do we get involved in the community, whether it's with the Chamber of Commerce or completely other markets. So, you know, we are sort of remiss in doing that, but yes, we would like to do that more. And there are opportunities that I'm setting up for us to do that. But I think it's very important to do that. You learn so much from other business owners, particularly ones that aren't even in the same market that you're in. And collectively, I think business owners have a tremendous amount to offer each other.
Do you have a mentor?
Do I have a mentor? That's a good question. I have a number of mentors. Friends are very valuable to me, and I think my brother is a business owner. He's a CEO of a company in town, and he's certainly a mentor of mine. I have a variety of mentors in different fields. I have a mentor, a woman by the name of Lynn Melatich, who was Director of Sales and Marketing for Providence Hospice of Seattle, and I worked as a patient caregiver, as a volunteer in hospice for 4 or 5 years and was on their board of directors. And she's from a whole different realm, but she's a mentor. And I have Ellen Moose, who was the owner of the company I managed for 7 years. She and I get together regularly, and she's very valuable in terms of giving me perspective on my business. She's kind of in her business ahead of me by probably 10 years, but you know, it's a different kind of business, but we get together pretty frequently to share.
The baseball manager, Joe Torre, was talking about the concept of character.
Mm-hmm.
He said that you can learn more about a person's character during the tough times versus the easygoing times. And can you talk about character of your organization, and also maybe apply that towards a little bit to Andrea too?
That's very true. We actually hired a gentleman over the past couple of years to work with the three of us partners. We all have, you know, strengths, and sometimes your strengths become a weakness, not a weakness, but can get you into some trouble, particularly when things are very stressful. And so we met with this gentleman for over a year, and he helped us work through a lot of communication issues that the three of us had, and it worked out very well. So I think that quote is well taken. As far as Andrea goes, I have not experienced any issues with her that I mean, she may have them internally, which is usually where we experience them, but, you know, as a client, I don't experience that at all.
So it's actually been pretty smooth sailing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and one thing that she's told me, I mean, I got a call the other day from a gal that I'm working with in PR, and she said, you know, I'm leaving my partner here, and I want you to know that ahead of time. And you have every opportunity to work with either one of us. I mean, my inclination is to continue to work with her, but to be very transparent about what's going on with your business, with your customers, I think is important. I mean, obviously, you're not going to disclose things that are none of their business, but if there is any kind of thing going on, whether it's considered negative or not, it's, I think, important to communicate that quickly as possible to your customers.
For the CEO documentary, we talk to CEOs about the way they make decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and all that transparency word comes out a lot.
A lot,
these
yeah.
days, it seems like. How do you make decisions, or do you have a system for your way you make decisions?
Yes, the three of us have a number of scheduled meetings during the course of each month. The first of which is a meeting every Tuesday for 2 hours, and we essentially run through every single one of our projects and make decisions independent of each other that we need to. We have a sort of a hierarchy of decision making that goes on independently of each other, and then the decisions that we need to make as a group become part of that agenda. The bigger you go, you know, you get to the point where you simply can't discuss every single thing that comes up. So as business owners, you need to learn how to own a bigger and bigger portion of that part of the company that you're managing, and become less distracting to your partners. And we have financial meetings once a month. And then we have a face-to-face meeting because we're all in different cities, essentially. We travel to make sure we see each other once a month face-to-face, because I don't think there's any replacement for that experience at all. I don't care what kind of tools you use, or email or phone calls, face-to-face encounters with human beings is critical to the success of a business, I think.
One of the last questions that we talk about is how important is sense of humor these days in being a business owner and a CEO?
It's very important, very important. We were at a job site yesterday, and we had the homeowner, the owner's rep, the contractor, the architect, the installer, the landscape architect, my partner, John, and myself. And it was a very serious conversation, you know, and we were kind of new to the party. But I think our sense of humor helped the course of a very serious meeting be more successful. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it really is important to have a sense of humor and get some perspective on what's going on. And, you know, there are moments where you have to be serious, but I think that a sense of humor is something that I've always valued tremendously. And fortunately, as a young person, that was very much a part of our family. So, and I can have a very dark sense of humor. I think the more stress I'm under, the more I tend to use that as a